Good morning, traders! Are you guys ready to keep the hot streak going with none other than live trading with Benzinga? Ryan, Zunaid, and I have been hot, and we're seeing a little bit of a drop in this market, but there's a lot of news to talk about. We got Tesla, AMC. We can talk a little bit about those. Twilio had earnings, Block. We can take a look at even the Donkey Kong DraftKings. We'll take a look at that. What is going to be trading today? Stick around. If you guys got a stock on your radar, throw it up in the chat. Let's go ahead and dive into live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
All right. The news of the day definitely caught the tape was, of course, the non-farm payrolls coming in at 528,000 versus the 258 estimate. Prior was 372,000. But Ryan, why did this cause the market to come down?
Well, because good news is bad news in this case, and this print signals that the Fed can continue to be aggressive in their pursuit to lower inflation. We can expect at least a 75 bips raise at the next meeting, probably one more after that. That would be my takeaway on the whole thing. Now, if you recall, Mitch, the one thing that I've been saying for a while is I think inevitably we retest 360. And in my view, we break 360, overshoot that to the downside, maybe settling at 350 or 340. If we take a look at the SPY chart here, this pretty much shows what we're talking about. So it looks like we kind of topped out here. What do we have here? 416-ish. The last time that we broke this trend line, which has been going since the beginning of the year, we popped above it briefly. We back tested this trend line, tried to bounce, but were slammed back through it. I would not be shocked if we saw the same type of movement here. My uncertainty, if you will, is where does this rally end? Because I still think lows for the year are not in. Perhaps this is the start of that. Now we'll see. We'll see how long this lasts. Some of this, sometimes when we've sold off like this, we've bounced. I'm not sure that's going to be the case. I definitely want to wait. I think the open today is going to be wild. So I want to wait for that to settle down. And I'm definitely, despite trading some of these lower priced small caps and scalping them, we're still going to have opportunity to do that. And in fact, the down market is going to be great for us because it's going to show us relative strength fairly easily in some of those names. However, for the broader market and some of the bigger stocks, I think that, I definitely want to watch this. The other thing here is the VIX, right? Every time we get down to the low 20s here, it seems to bounce. We got down to about 2150 the other day. The VIX is spiking here in the pre-market. Bitcoin's down. Tech is down. NASDAQ had a 20% run up into this print. So definitely more room to go down here. If we do continue to sell off today, my gut's telling me 403, maybe 401 in that area on the SPY. So we'll go ahead and see if that's where we end up.
All right, definitely. I'll give you guys the level that I'm looking on the SPY before you jump into some of those smaller names and maybe some micro catalysts. Did want to take a look at this here, guys. So this is, of course, I'll just give it to, this is from FinViz, but the big thing here is that it's a 1 week overall performance. So what am I looking at here and why is this important, right? If we're going to come down, we're probably going to give up some of the gains that are the biggest gainers here. So stocks that I'm going to be watching to come down today include stocks like what? Like Amazon, that's been up 16.59% in 1 week. I could see that turning back around today. Tesla already turning back around. So take a look at Tesla. Let's take a look to see if that turns back around. Meta has been also up about 6.13. So I could see that turning around. And then Apple up about 5.38. We also had Apple news in the tape today. Apple warned about suppliers that China is now strictly enforcing a rule about labeling Taiwanese shipments. This is massively important, I think, to Apple, and could really take down Apple, especially if they're going to start getting into the middle zone between the fight between China and the US. I'll tell you one thing, Apple definitely doesn't want to be stuck in the middle there. Of course, they would have issues with what's going on in Taiwan and China. Of course, they get their semiconductors, their chips from Taiwanese semiconductor, from TSM, and then
Taiwan Semiconductor.
there. Thank you. And so the big thing there is I'm going to be watching. Does Apple just completely take down the market today? And so that's what I'll be watching. Does Apple just get that hard hit? Because that's where I can see us really dragging the market. And so you can see now Apple coming down there towards the 165. What's the level to watch for the downside? I think we get towards that 159 today. We're going to give up probably about 2 days of gains. We've already dropped pretty fast, so I'm going to look for a push back here towards around 164 to get short. But it's an interesting stock to watch for the short side opportunity, and that's going to be Apple today.
And one more note on Apple, Mitch, they paid their dividend out today. So it's going to be down on that as well.
Already, yeah. As people took their money and run, right? All right, so let's go.
Yeah,
back.
I will say, so you've already kind of hinted at 2 different songs. I'm very glad that when you said Stuck in the Middle, you didn't bust into singing Jimmy Eat World Stuck in the Middle with You, because that would have been a little bit bad. So I'm glad that we got past that here this morning.
I'm trying to keep us on the tape here. Let's go to Ryan's smaller moves here now. Let's take a look at some of the micro catalysts, and then when I return, I'll cover some of the earnings stocks that hit. And of course, we could talk about Tesla's shareholder approval and AMC Ape. We'll talk a little bit about that, Ryan. Let's go ahead and dive into what you got, and then I will kind of go get some orange juice while you knock this out.
Pinkies up, Mitch. I got this until you get back. I will say good morning to all of our loyal viewers here and everyone that's new. Welcome. Hope that you find today's show helpful, fun, and entertaining. I see a lot of familiar faces in here. Beach Bum, great to have your support as always. Voodoo, Dylan, Becca, Sabrina, Axioms. Seeing a lot of Jonathan, Rosie, Born, Trevor, Sabrina, I think I already said your name. Sludge. So a lot of you guys. Keith, nice to see you. So great to have everyone back. The first thing I'm going to start with here, we are going to go into some of these small caps trade. But Becca, you nailed it. BBIG is halted and suspended. Now, I got to say, we talked about this when this first started going off. This was on the scanner every single day. There was a whole bunch of talk on Twitter about how the stock was going to be 40. We had people coming in the chat here telling me that I was an idiot and that this is going to 40 and that selling it for a 20-cent gain was stupid. All of that. I wonder if any of those people are going to come back and apologize today, as BBIG likely under investigation here. So not good news for BBIG. I hope nobody got stuck in this. I hope all of the warnings that we gave about how this should only be treated as a day trader stock were listened to. So we'll see what happens here. This was a halt for more information. If I'm not mistaken, let me get the exact code here. Halted information requested by the listing market. That is not good. So I have no idea when this will be unhalted, but we tried to warn you. We tried to warn you. So in any case, let's get back to some of the more actionable moves today. First one is going to be AMTD. This has been on the radar quite a bit recently. I clicked too fast there. Sorry about that. This has been, of course, moving with HKD. This has been an absolute monster trader for our group here over the past week. Looks like it is curling up and trying to get some action today. Big thing here that we want to watch is going to be the volume as always. So we're going to be watching AMTD. One of the other stocks one of the other groups of stocks, excuse me, that we're going to be watching are the monkeypox stocks. Now they're leaking a little bit here in the pre-market, but the reality with these stocks is we've had news flow all week. We can expect to continue seeing some of this news flow, especially out of states like New York, California, and Illinois. So we'll see where if we get any of these, and we'll see how these stocks react. I have a couple in the basket here. Saiga is going to be the first one. GovX is going to be the second one. This one had an absolutely monster move yesterday that we were on top of. APDN. This is another one here that is with the whole monkeypox theme. This is also up. And then last I have CMRS. So CMRX, I believe, Chimerix. So sorry about that. I've had the wrong letter in there. So we're going to watch some of these names. We'll see. This is all going to be subject to volume and news flow. Do we get it? If so, there should be some trading opportunities. If not, maybe we won't. The two others from yesterday that I really quickly want to cover were Nerve. This had a huge run on gigantic volume yesterday midday. We retraced about 75% of that move. We're a little bit lower here in the pre-market today. I was looking around on Twitter. There's really no news for this. I was looking around on Twitter, talking to some of the other traders that I talk to on a regular basis. It seems to me like there were other chat rooms trading this, and I'm not sure if they're still in it. I'm not really sure what the deal is here. This is a thin play, so it's possible that this gets some juice again. Again, all you really need to watch for is this expanding volume. If you take a look at yesterday, this pretty much tells the story. As soon as that volume started to ramp, so too did the price. And as long as the volume didn't return to almost nothing, the price held in there. And when that volume really expanded, the price really rocketed. So we're going to be looking for the exact same type of behavior today. Nerve absolutely in play. Other one from yesterday is going to be YOLO. This is the YOLO Corporation. This is the transportation services. So this one had an interesting day yesterday as well. Had a huge pre-market, had a huge pop out of the open, really gave back all of that move down to the pre-market lows, and then kind of started to trade back up and kind of held there. So we're holding here right above 650. It'll be interesting to see if we make a run towards 7, and then maybe some of those intraday high and pre-market highs will be within reach later on the session. Same deal applies here. This is all going to be dependent upon volume. Let's go through the list here real quick. USWS, this is actually a reverse split. It's not up 481%. We'll have the team go ahead and correct that there. We also have a job to automate this process going forward. FYI, just want to make sure we can catch them all. Next one here is going to be IONM. This is Assure Holdings. They're having a huge pre-market here, carved out a large range, went all the way up to 1088 before pulling all the way back off a low of about 445. We're currently sitting at about 530 here. I'd like to see if this could make a move through 6. If this makes a move through 6, I would expect the volume to start building, and I would expect some action as we try to trade higher here. But we'll see. A lot of this is also going to be dependent upon the market when we actually get that opening print. MRKRs is another one of the sub pennies. It tried to make a run for $1, didn't quite get there, stopped at 95 and reversed. We're currently sitting right around 60 cents. I probably won't trade this, but it really depends on what other targets we have out there and what else is going on. So just wanted to throw this one on your radar as well. Had a couple more here. Let me just go through them. This one I'm not sure of yet. I actually want to wait and see if I can get some more price data on that one. Hi, buddy. Are you here for the morning rundown too? It's just going to walk right in front of the camera. There goes the tail. Okay, ANTX. This is another one. We're hanging out right around $1 here. I think as long as we don't lose 95, 90 cents, this could actually make another move through $1 and try to go towards the high. So we'll take a look at ANTX as well. Peggy, this one is also making a move here. This is really giving it back here in the second half of the pre-market. So we'll see if this can get going again. KZIA, this has been one that we've traded before. It's in that biotech name. Yesterday, we absolutely saw a rotation out of energy into biotechs. That affected some of the lower price stocks as well. We'll see if that continues today or if there's any follow through on some of those moves. I think that's probably it. Let me just make sure. iRobot. This is a new issue here. So iRobot was actually acquired today. Amazon and iRobot sign an agreement for Amazon to acquire iRobot. So if you were long this, I would just say cash it out today. Nice job. Should be a pretty nice premium here for you, but there shouldn't be any other trades on this. EVFM, last one here. We know that this one has gotten some action here before. We'll see if this ends up picking up. Had a good pre-market here, but really retraced about half of that move, holding above 1. We'll see where we go when the market actually opens. Oh, I'm glad you're back, Mitch.
Always. Pinky on up, guys. Let's keep it going here. Let's take a look at some of the stocks out there. One that I was looking to see if I could get shorts on was Getty. I can't even find them. But hey, I think this is coming back down closer towards that $10 price point. We know how these kind of SPACs love to pop and then drop. But really, I'm going to be watching some of the bigger stocks, right? TSM is actually in the green right now. This is going to be one that I'll be watching for a short. That's for sure. Started to leak a little bit. A lot of these stocks have leaked a significant amount already. If you take a look at the SPY, I was talking about SPY yesterday. I was talking about 408. Looks like we're going to get it one day after that. And so we kind of got that up move that it was looking like it wanted to get above that 415. Now we're back in the range. Where do we think we're going to stop? I think we stop somewhere around 408, 407s. I don't think we're going to get close even to 405 today. So it could be a little bit choppy as we already have come down significantly, right? And so you could see some chop into this market open. You could see a spike followed by continued downside to 408, then back to 410s and back to 408. So just be careful with the chop out there. Don't want to see anyone just get chopped up like we're seeing. But there's a lot of news out there, right? iRobot soaring because Amazon buying it. Yes, you're right, Kyle. We talked about that one in the morning on pre-market prep. It's up there towards 60. Significant lift there. Could keep going to 62 and then eventually just come right back towards that 58. Just be careful with that stock, especially if we're going to see the stocks come down. Another run for U.S. semi? No, Sabrina, I would think the opposite. I would start looking for downturns in Nvidia, downturns in AMD, downturn in QCOM, downturn in anything that you can imagine tech. I'm expecting a downturn right now because a lot of these stocks have run like 20% from the bottom. What could you see? You could see maybe down about 5 to 6% today being something that's going to be something that I think will be common. You're seeing Microsoft right now down almost 2. Nvidia is already down 2.45, so you could see that's already working its way. Meta also down 2%. And I think you're going to see a lot of drop from these. AMD almost down 3% already. And so clear example of what I'm thinking is going to happen. But the question is, how far down do they come? Like for me, I think AMD even getting towards today around 99.40, 99.50s, they'll probably find a bounce there. And so you got to be careful. If you're just trying to just short, just clear right, well, expect some chop also. I can't tell you that it's 100% certain, but one thing I can tell you is that this market doesn't like to just go in one direction. It has come up here, but a lot of that was also with some choppy action. Just be careful. Don't get chopped up too much. Make sure that you're giving yourself some good reward to risk levels. So what I mean by that is let's make sure that we're not risking here, let's say 30, 40 cents to only make maybe 20 or 40 cents, right? And so always figure out what your profit to loss ratio is going to be very important to you. But for me, that also leaves me room that, hey, there could be some in between because these stocks have come down significantly already in the pre-market. It's almost better if it does it in the open because then I could see continuation. But when it does it too quickly, you could get those kind of like bounces back up. All right, let's see what else is being out there. Of course, you got Tesla's shareholder approval for a 3-to-1. I was actually short this yesterday. A little part of me is like, should have held it overnight again, but it got me a little bit concerned yesterday when we couldn't break through the 920s. We eventually did it in the after hours here in the pre-market, but we were actually coming back towards the 930s yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I'll just take 920s, take it off there. But it's going to be an interesting now. It's going to really start looking like it wants to decline and top out here. You can see the topping out action here, and now it's going to be interesting. Where does it come back to? It does have the 200-day right on it now at 911.16s. So maybe look for that to kind of get popped into and then faded on. And then I'll look for it to come back if it can get through 892s, getting through that 900, looking for a move back towards, let's say, 850s to kind of make up some of this. But if you take a look, it's been a monster move up here. This is about a 38% move. So it could come down about 50%. 50% from this move gives it down here towards that 810 level. So we'll see if we get back there towards 810 on Tesla. I don't think that's going to maybe happen today, but it could be where it's heading. Block had earnings, so you could take a look at Square. You can see it's already pulling on back. To me, this gives me the insight that PayPal will probably give up some of its gains. And you can see PayPal's actually hanging on, not looking too bad. Look at this daily chart. It does have a gap underneath. I don't know why. Oh, it's because there's some fake print here that went up there. I hate when the fake prints mess up the charting here. But yeah, so this is really all about coming back down through the 90s. There's a little of a gap zone down towards 86.91. So I could watch that be a short. PayPal is going to be an interesting one. Square is already coming down off of their earnings. I saw AMC, of course, mention about the ape preferred kind of way to get some money out of your investors, but they issued a dividend to its shareholder in the form of preferred shares listed on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker APE. And so it's going to be interesting to watch what happens with AMC. It dropped a big after hours. I talked about how that 20 level was going to be so important. We couldn't even get there. We got to around 1940s and turned back around. So to me, unless it gets to 20 today,
Good luck, folks.
I'm not looking at it.
Watching KZIA off the open through 254 is a spot. By the way, QNRX with an offering.
All right, let's take a look here. What kind of trades we can do. Try to keep up multiple window today, as we don't have Zunaid. He's doing the esports life. Trying to look at Apple here. It is coming back here towards the 164s.
So Kazia actually needs to get above 254 here. It's dropping. So we're not going to take this until we can actually see it move.
Trying to watch Apple right now come into resistance and then short it. So around 162, 164.02 is where I'd look to get a little piece in. Next layer up from there, there's a multiple layer of resistance. Will be 164.35, and so somewhere in between there I can add. All right, just got the starter there at 163.97. Willing to add to this.
DKNG up this pre-market. Didn't they have earnings today? Better than expected.
Have
QQ
earnings
sales results and guidance. Unique player increased 30% year over year. So it looks like a good report there for DKNG.
Yeah, the only thing is just be careful because, you know, it's already made the run. So I don't know if it's going to continue, but the pre-market push was massive. So I got DKNG in the middle there for you, the SPY to the left, and Apple on your right-hand side. If you guys want any other ticker, please mention it in the chat. I got a lot more to do today for you guys, but hey, just let me know. And
One thing, Mitch, actually, if you can actually change it to my screen here,
Yeah.
I'll do it. Oop, that's my fault. I told you to do it and then did it and we canceled it. I got asked yesterday, I believe it was Pablo asking me if I was still in PLTR. So yesterday I did get the fill that I was looking for. Remember, I was looking to sell 2/5 of my contracts at 50 cents, the contracts that I paid 21 cents for. I ended up getting filled on that order. So I have 3/5 left that are now free. I'm going to let those run into the expiry date, which is October, still 77 days, able to lock some of those profits in and make this trade free. pretty awesome too, because it looks like that was a top tick. Sometimes you get lucky with those. So PLTR sold partial position. The rest of it's free. I'm going to let it ride.
AMC pushing up there towards the 1742s. If you guys want to watch that for a day trade, it's definitely moved. Does nice little push off the 17. That's about a 2.6% move. We'll see if it holds 1725s for pullbacks. Apple coming right back down, not even giving me a chance to add by second. So I'm just going to leave that first. If it just comes into my direction, you can't be mad about making a nice trade. All right, let's make sure that we keep on to following where the big movers are moving today. That's what I want to watch also. Let's go here towards what's moving up, what's moving down. Energy getting a nice lift here, guys. So if you guys are seeing XOM just push immediately from 86 up there towards 88. We'll look for some pullback in some of these oil names to see if we can catch the dip. Gush pushing also towards that 134. Looks like oil getting some lift today. Real estate behind that, financial services, and what's down today, healthcare, technology, and consumer cyclical. I'm not giving up on this rally. Oh, Jim Cramer, thank you for talking me and making me want to go short some more. Amazon looking interesting here for a short. It's coming back towards resistance. Similar play that I'm looking at for Apple. I can look at it for Amazon. It's above 141.15 into the 141.40 level. There's Apple getting above the 164s. Let's focus on this one first, and then we can worry about Amazon. Come on. Give me that slight little tick up here into the 164.20s. All right, just added there at 164.32s. We got one more add I can do. Let's see if we reject here. Make sure it rejects 164.50s.
Wet G was being mentioned earlier. This thing having a huge rip here. Let's see if this is halted. It is. Wet G is halted. Halted to the downside here. So we'll see if Wet G. This is probably a little too risky for me. I probably won't trade this. One other thing to note is that we have another IPO here, Chinese IPO today, MEGL, MEGL. Some people are speculating that this could be like HKD. I don't know that that's going to be the case. It's likely going to be wild. Maybe it gets halted. Don't really know much about it, but something to keep on your radar there if you want to be a gunslinger, if you will. I will probably avoid that as well.
I agree with the comment here in the chat by Chris Woods. Watch Oxy. It's down where Buffett likes to buy it. You're right there, Chris. Wheelie Man wants me to take a look at BAC.
I got nothing going on right now. I'm still waiting for things to shake out here.
BAC, multiple highs trying to get above that 33.60. You could see I already had the line drawn. Didn't even need to think about it. Now it needs to hold VWAP on this pullback, get back up there through the 33.60s. You don't want to see it back by 33.30s. That's where it could break the pattern. But look at this. This is a longer hourly pattern, really. If you take a look here, you're going to see that trend line, right? You're going to see how it's been trying to get back above that. Draw the bottom trend line too. Higher lows, higher lows. So you could see how you kind of wedging in between here. A move to 33 would break this pattern, and a move above 33.60s could get it up there towards 34. Right now, I would say it's in between on the hourly. Apple just rejecting that 164.50. That's a good look for me. Keeping a close eye on, of course, my trade here. My ad was in the 164.30. What's up, Ryan?
I was just going to say, Trevor was saying that Saiga and GovX are moving here. Again, these were the monkeypox plays that we flagged at the beginning of the show here. GovX pushed right up to that 380 level. Really needs to get above, I would say, 390, 395 to get rolling here. Probably see some resistance at 4 as well.
Hanging out. Solar is actually up today. That's an interesting move there. I was expecting it to come back down today, but these could just be bounces that get faded. Solar is up, of course, because of the climate bill being mentioned. The Senate will take the Democrats' tax, climate, and health bill on Saturday. Schumer said that the Democrats are trying to pass the bill under a budget process known as reconciliation, which allows the Democrat to pass legislation without the threat of Republican filibuster. There's a big push in Apple. I'm going to give it a couple seconds here to come right back down here. If not, we go ahead and get out. That's why I like coming in with a smaller size at the open here. Let's see what happens. Definitely getting that bounce back, kind of like those dead cat rallies here that you get in bear markets. A lot of times when you come down too much in the pre-market, you can get a rally right at the open. It looks like this is what we're getting. Now the question is, will we get the next leg down?
Yeah.
SPY just rallied up there towards 411.62. That's what we got to keep an eye on also.
KZIA may be bottoming here. We'll see if this can actually turn back up. Remember, 254 is going to be your real big spot. We shall see.
We'll give it about another 5 minutes as we get towards the 9:45 and 10 a.m. is where I expect to see that flush right back down. This is why I'm enjoying going in with smaller share size a lot of the times. This is giving me the ability to just let the stocks work, right? Even this move right here is nowhere near a normal loss here for me on Apple, even though it's above my entry a significant amount. But that's the fun part about lowering the share size to give it some workability. AMC pushing there, held the 1725 pullback there. Talked about that level, look for that pullback in that, and held it right to it. Look how it went to 1720, 1719, now back up there to 1750s.
You guys joking about Mullen taking Zunaid and Spencer away. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I won't get into it. I have an NDA with that.
I have an NDA. Oh, Mitch.
I was waiting away for Zunaid to drop that joke because I know Zunaid would have started cracking up, but
Mitch was smart not to do that interview, says Shelley. We don't need to lose Mitch. We don't need to lose anybody, frankly, but we certainly don't need to lose Mitch.
yeah, let's just say I have too many followers to try to do that one. I didn't want to lose everybody. I would have seen my Twitter just drop half the following in like one day. I'll pass. There's the pullback there for a rejection for 164.75. So above 164.50s doesn't look too bad for an ad on Apple, but normally on my third ad, I wait for the major price point to break down. I don't like to add at the top of the end, even though that would give me a better price. I look for it to break down through a whole number like the number that I'm watching right now, 164, right? That was the number I talked about earlier today. That's what I'm going to be waiting for it on the third ad. Because if not, what this does is it limits my risk on the upside move. Mullen is vaporware. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what stocks are moving on out there. I need to get some tunes going here. I'm going to get some music going.
I'm watching KZIA because I think this does probably make a run at that 254. The question is really going to be, does it break that 254? Stopping here at 233. If it can take that out and move towards 254, maybe this thing can get going. We'll see. Needs to take those levels, though. It's risky until it takes those levels out. So I'm just watching it.
Did you catch some football last night?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to lie. After the rain delay, I just started watching baseball.
I
kinda
I
missed
didn't
it.
watch. I was flipping between that and the Jeter documentary, The Captain, which is
I'm
excellent.
not gonna
by the way.
lie, awesome documentary. I need to go back. I only seen episode 1, but does look good. There's AMC holding right at 1725. So that's the level on the breakdown. If you're bulls on AMC, 1725 breaks, you're probably right back to 17, but it's holding right now. The SPY did top out right around kind of some resistance to 411.50s. It did go up there towards 411.89, but that's what I'm looking for now. Do we close above 411.50s?
Gina asking me, Ryan, what do you think about Hills EVFM? I don't have any angle on Hills at all. EVFM trader only. I don't believe in the long-term story, but we've actually seen this trade pretty wild on our shows here. We've all traded it. I think Zunaid traded it. I met Mitch, maybe even Mitch traded it one day. So
Which one?
definitely a viable trading vehicle. Wouldn't hold it overnight. No angle on Hills. Sorry.
Oh, Hill? Yeah. Cost can regain yesterday's price, no problem. No problem. I had a feeling the market wasn't going to just go straight down at the open. This market loves to chop people up.
Yep. It wants to inflict the most amount of pain before it picks a direction. Nobody
Hell
should be
yeah.
surprised at that.
Yeah, that's why I stay smaller at the open here, because it just loves to put some pain on you. And one of the things I would rather do is go with a smaller share size. Even if I get stopped out on this position, right? It's not a win. It's better to lose small at the open and then eventually give yourself a chance to catch the real trend than to play it like 30 times, at least in my eyes, and then all of a sudden I have no money by the time that the market actually picks a trend.
Gina, as far as Hills go, again, I have no read on this, so I'm just looking at the chart here. 162 looks like the spot it needs to take out to move higher. 162 on Hills would be my best guess. But again, haven't traded this, not familiar with it at all. So take that with a grain of salt.
And I don't got my Mickey Mouse on, but I got my Goofies. The goof. Rejecting that 411.47, the 411.50 area here again for the SPY. Wicks right above that. That's what you're looking at there. Couple of wicks now. Do we start turning around here on the SPY? All at the same area. That's what I'm talking about. Now let's see if it drags it down. All right, what's down the biggest today? I want to take a look here from the regular hour and some of the bigger names. Twilio down 17%. Warner Brother down 15%. Virgin Galactic down 14%. Doximity down 10%. The Hood down 6.62%. How's the oil trades going? Oh, look at Oxy taking off, man.
Good call. You were on that from the morning.
Taking off, man. I should have just been watching oil, but I was looking for the tech short. It was probably not the obvious trade to go into energy, but nice little push there. XOM, gush, just gushing it, you know, just gushing. Oil names doing well today. So if you played those, power to you.
Had to get my water.
Dude, you got your water? Fubo.
Gotta stay hydrated on a Friday, Mitch. Come on.
Fubo is at $3. It jumped significantly in the after hours, but remember, it's a cheap stock, and it's going to be hard with a lot of, like, you got negative news from Warner Brothers. Streaming services just haven't been doing well, at least in this environment, and I think you need to see some of those turn around before you see Fubo turn around completely. So what I'd say about that is keep your eyes on stocks like Disney, and keep your eyes on stocks like Netflix. And what do you see today? Weakness, baby.
Well, look
Weakness.
at WBD. Look at WBD. They are just incredibly weak today. excuse me, lower pre-market. They had awful earnings last night. Lower pre-market, lower out of the open. That's dragging down the rest of that.
There's Apple back down to VWAP, which is kind of what I wanted to see now. Now we're going to see if it breaks that 164. And if it does that, I'll look what's called a pullback short. So when it breaks a major level, you see it come back to that, then we nail down on it. We'll see what happens there. And if Apple starts coming back down.
Corporate worker saying Ryan going out for drinks later. Nope, that's a rookie move. Ryan stays at home and opens a bottle of wine, which I will be doing.
Yeah, save the money.
Well, I also just don't need to figure out transportation, worry about driving under the influence, anything like that. Plus, escape from Tarkov, man.
Don't you live in Chicago? Don't they walk there?
What's that?
Don't they walk in Chicago? Or do
I'm
they
not
still
in
use
Chicago.
vehicles?
I'm in a suburb.
Ah, there you go. I need to go to Chicago. I know we're having the cannabis conference.
Oh, yeah.
In Chicago. I'm kind of upset. I need to get out there. They've been trying to hold me back from the cannabis events. They know why. But
They know why. Oh, Mitch.
they know why.
Mitch.
Let's just say they know I'm from the Mile High City. Keep a close eye on it here.
Carvana
Apple trying
ripping.
to
They
come
had
back
earnings
here.
yesterday, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yep.
And they guided horribly.
And they missed.
And it's ripping. That's how this market is, dude. This market is like beyond, and I'm going to use the word stupid. Because that's what it is. It's stupidity. This move up from Carvana is just stupid. That's the word for it. Because if you try to make logical sense of why Carvana is going up right now, I don't think you'll find it. Here's Apple trying to get back to the high. SPY trying to hold above the 411.50s. You can see it here. The line right underneath it. Trying to hold above it. But yeah, let me grab that Carvana headline. It was just like, oh my God. I forgot where I saw that quote. I need to find it. No, I had it written down somewhere. All right, let's get to some music here. Little sunrise special. I like this. Let's go.
VRM going here through two, interestingly enough.
SPY trying to get through that 412s now, holding that 411.50 pullback there. You can see it right there. Look at the low on this 5-minute candle right at 411.50. There's a reason why it opened up there. It opened up at 51, went to a low of 50, now pushing up there. Getting that 165 test here on Apple. That's our kind of risk out spot. We don't want it to close above 165 because then it gets into a whole nother pattern. What's up with DKNG, the Donkey Kong, pushing up strong, man.
The Donkey Kong pushing up strong.
It's
like
doing
it.
the, you know, the punches. You just punch up.
Oh, Donkey Kong, that was a good game. That was a good game.
Donkey Kong, baby. No lie, I still play Donkey Kong. You can do it on the Wii. There's like Super Nintendo like kind of widgets now that the Wii gives you, and you can play Donkey Kong. Oh, I still have my Super Nintendo, just to let you guys know, since I was young. I'm keeping that thing. But yeah, DraftKings, I mean, you know, I could look at it today and be like, oh, I missed out on this move. But no, at the end of the day, I caught a good part of the move. I mean, did I catch, you know, the 40%? Well, I didn't think it would get to 40%. I had the resistance drawn at 1946, but I thought it would struggle up here around the 18s. Really good, strong push today. Just almost to the pre-market high of 1908. Went to 1904 there on that spike. But at least story-wise, I was looking for those to have a good time. Penn actually down on this. Interesting. There's Apple rejection of 165 here. Let's try to give it one more try to get through that 165. Then I'm going to look to see if the SPY is below 411.50s. And I'll hammer down. Wish Penn would follow, said Buffalo. Yeah, I sold the Penn. I only have the original PlayStation left over. That one wasn't a bad one to have. Nah, but yeah, I had the Super Nintendo and the 64 still from my original days.
I don't have any of my old systems. I would constantly upgrade them. So I don't have my N64, my Dreamcast, my Genesis, my PlayStation.
Yeah, I sold everything after those. After the 64, like I had the GameCube for a while, yeah. I had PlayStation for a while, but I was not selling my Super Nintendo. No. I still played Super Nintendo like all throughout life. I mean,
Super Nintendo was a huge part of my childhood. So, I mean, I totally get that. But I didn't, you know, I could only really have one system when I was a kid. So I would have to go to Funko Land or wherever and sell the system back or do it on eBay and then use that to buy the new system.
We're going to have a Super Mario kind of playing on Sunday or something on here. Bam, bam.
Mario Paint. I remember Mario Paint. They allowed you to record it on like VHS. You could tape the game. That was pretty cool.
All right, let's go towards the sector analysis right quick. Energy up 2.32 and keeps on going, baby. One of the best one, ConocoPhillips. Look at that, 2.86% straight up there. So if you were playing oil on the upside today, money. That's all I'd say. Let's go towards what else is doing well. Basic materials not looking bad. That's agricultural inputs. I would say probably MOS. Look at that. Mosaic getting above that 53. There's a vital spot there. We've been trading this one multiple times. We traded this one up through the 52. It got all the way up as high as 54.84. Now catching the bid there around, let's say, 52. So that's what I'd be watching for longer term pullbacks, but definitely a nice push through the 53 today. MOS. You could also watch CF and CTVA is an interesting one, up 4.6%. These are agricultural inputs. What's down? Defensive names. The value trade is off, guys. Be careful with those value names. They're getting hammered and consistently getting hammered. So what would I mean by that? Like a Coca-Cola. You can look at even PG, Procter & Gamble. A lot of this trade coming off there. KHC, the Kraft Heinz, just the value trade just falling off the tape. If you're looking for that, definitely it's not value time. How's the ARKK? Ooh, that one looks good for a short. A lot of resistance right in the 49.15 area.
GovX new highs?
GovX.
Not in it? We're still watching KZIA. VRM new highs? Not in that anymore either?
Mello, I think you're talking about AMTD. I think so. I don't know. Maybe,
no. MEGL.
Maybe Ryan knows.
MEGL. And let me be very clear. The speculation is that this is going to be like HKD. We don't know. I don't know. I don't think anyone does. I believe this is going to have more shares than HKD, so you're probably not going to see the same type of movement anyway. But I mean, HKD was just nuts. Don't expect to see that over and over again. This one is just being compared to it. I think it's supposed to go today. We'll see. I probably will not play this just because I don't want to get chopped up and wrecked. But that's it. MEGL. New IPO scheduled for today. KSPN, that was, yeah, definitely popped here. Came back in. It looks like this was halted at one point too. NVIV halted to the upside. Oh, no, unhalted. Excuse me.
I don't know. The music is too loud. Let me know, guys.
You're good.
I'm
You're
enjoying
good,
it.
my man. Palantir after its sell-off here rebounding. So see if that trades back up here.
Sark had a huge falling wedge, while ARK huge rising wedge. Nice mention there, Eric. Damn, I even hear myself loud today. I'm gonna bring myself down a little bit.
Sounded all right on my end.
I think it's because of the music. It's just, we'll get it right, guys. We'll get it right. We have some really cool kind of changes coming to Benzinga TV in the next, I would say, 10 to 15 days. You guys will see a massive change here. So stick around with us. I've been working really hard on taking us to that next level.
Awesome. I'm excited to see what you got lined up for us.
Hell yeah. There's always one thing that's for sure, and that's keep moving towards
Absolutely.
the needle, right? We got to always keep working towards those touchdowns. If we need to move the goalposts, we'll move it, but we'll get it there, baby. Any other swing on your radar like DraftKings? Well, Pablo, I have to think about it like this. The way that I come up with those swing trades is I think of three variables always. First one's going to be, of course, story, because I think that this is when I like to play my swing trades the most, is when I think there's going to be a catalyst that's coming into play. The second thing is going to be looking at the fundamentals of the stock. What is the outlook? What are the analysts saying out there? What are maybe some ratings outlook? How has the stock performed for their earnings? You know, are earnings coming up? Those are the kind of fundamental things that I'd be drawing into my mindset. The next thing from there would be technicals. Do the technicals match the timing of the story and the fundamentals coming into play? Because if all those three line up, that's when I like to take those swing trades. That's why I took the DraftKings one, because I told myself, well, the story is preseason football, right? The fundamentals is we're getting earnings coming on up. Analysts like DraftKings here at this pricing. They've been having higher price targets. So at least the fundamentals make sense. Then the technicals made sense because they had a really nice support and sideways action, giving me a really measurable risk to return. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this is how you approach every trade, but this is how I like to approach swing trading. And this is when I've made the most, is focusing on those three variables, saying check, 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 let's go.
Real quick, Pablo, you were asking yesterday if I was still in PLTR. I don't know if you caught it earlier. I did sell partial yesterday on PLTR, locked in gains. Rest of my trade is free. I'll let that roll to October.
I like that, Knight. Customer loyalty as a part of the story too. I agree. And there's no perfection, right, to understanding the story. It's just you have to do your own kind of research into it. What do people like about the stock? What is coming? You know, and was simple to me with the NFL. And I saw it play in last year. So why not try to repeat a pattern? SPY trying to push to the next levels here. So we're going to give it just a little bit of room here. It's about to wick right here on Apple through the 165. We're going to give it a second here. If not, I'll just cut it. To see the SPY pushing. I'm going to see if we're going to get a wick or not. close up here. We got about 5 seconds on this candle. Let's see what happens. AMC has some annoying support. That's funny. As soon as this candle closed, we push back towards 165, right on it. Now let's see what happens here. Do we get that next leg that comes up through 165? Of course I'll get out. But if we could just click back towards 164.50, we're still in the game. Hands on the trigger to get out. And right back down below 165s. SPY's been strong, man, making up a lot of that drop there. That's why I was like concerned about, you know, just having short outlooks too much right out the gates. Definitely that will put the squeeze right back on the shorts, right? Making up almost what we had about 1.2% drop there in the pre-market. We've already made back about 0.7 of that. All right, rejecting that. Now coming back towards that 165. Just keeping a close eye on it here because it could take that next leg.
Watching KZIA here on a curl on a potential move through 230 up to 254. We'll see if it materializes.
Just pushing here. And then right back down. $10 o'clock time. Let's see if we get a reversal here or not. This first 15 minutes at the 10 a.m. time is so important for me. There we go, right back down below the 165. Just keeping an eye on what's going on out there. This morning was a good opportunity to cover my shorts, Brian. Yeah, it was as soon as you got to probably that open. But the question is, you know, will you go back to that level? And it's hard, especially in this market. I've talked about it. I'd rather run to profits than worry about, you know, oh, I need to get a little bit more, a little bit more. That greediness in this market has not been fun to play. KNG trying to get through that 19. AMC just broke that 1725 there. That was a big support level. What other ones are doing decent today? X trying to give it to you. That was some good lift there in X. Cleveland Cliff, yeah. Steel ripping today, guys. Sure, basic materials starting to take some good lead there, up 1.22%. Aluminum up 2.37, copper, then steel. So it looks like that inflationary trade right there, taking a nice little lift there. AA up about 3.7%. We'll look for some pullback now, but these definitely running big right now. How's the technology in solar? Solar up 4.3, EMPH back above VWAP. SEDG pushed strongly up there towards 325. First solar up at 103. SunPower up 7%, so is Run. We'll see if those turn around. Of course, this is moving off of the climate bill. Just hanging out. Ethan. You know, always
chilling.
understand where your risk spot is. And that's why I'm okay with the sizing that I have in Apple. Even if I get out here, if it gets to even 166, I wouldn't be concerned with that loss. And so the big thing there is trying to stay small in this market. It's been helping me, and definitely getting back to the swing trading, right? I mean, that's what helped me get some of the gains this week. I'm gonna keep looking at that. DraftKings, another leg up through that 19, up there towards 19.19. So big day there for the DraftKings. Wonder if the other kind of betting stocks are doing well. RSI, not doing well there. GAN, GAN's not looking too bad there. Probably a high shorted name there. Looks interesting on the daily.
Rippin, I don't think Peggy is done. Has a nice gap up at 795 too. Not confirmed yet, but starter under 4. I like that. I like the risk to reward here. You got it under 4. For me, it looks like, I agree. I don't think this is done either. Looks like this is really going to need to break above 420 to get going, Rippin. Nice spot though. We'll watch that one.
Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. If it holds around the 372, I still like that one too, especially on the 15-minute.
Yeah.
So here it is. Will the SPY turn around here? This is going to be kind
Well,
of.
look at Peloton. Look at Peloton and Carvana. Tiny pies on Carvana there.
Short squeezes, man. Short squeeze in this market like crazy. MGM's up. Yeah, decent amount. I mean, not overall. It's actually in the red still, but oh, now it just clicked into the green. It's up about 0.2%. Chris bringing up Genie. Well, I don't like to talk about that, Chris. We don't talk about Genie. You know why. Beyond Meat, the fake meat push. All right, there you guys. I just got that push in Apple there. I'm about to get out of here. Out there at 165.23s. Not going to push it there. Just watch that push through that 165. Now we'll look for reversals a little bit later, but it's okay to take that first hit.
Yeah, Pop is asking you to turn your mic up just a tad, Mitch, if you can try.
Okay.
Just a little.
Got you. That's not hard. There you go. Yeah, the short squeeze is all around there, guys.
More
Short
Palantir
squeeze
calls.
life. That could be a squeeze right there too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Squeeze.
I think
Squeezing
they might
these
be
shorts.
going after names that are shorted.
Yeah, that's high short interest. I even saw Neg getting a move. That's when you know it. The day that I see Wish, the day that I see Wish up, there you go. The dash for trash, man. The dash for trash.
Good call, Nolan. Saiga at highs here after earnings. Yeah, Kodak too. That is another one that was Carvana halted. Let's take a look at Carvana halted to the upside. It looks like, right? Wow.
Yeah, that just shows me that this market is just ripping stocks for no damn reason at all. That's a short squeeze right there. That squeeze the shorts mentality right there.
Absolutely. KZIA definitely curling here.
Need to find that comment now. I'll have to look for it because it was significant. At least I felt.
And yeah, Rosie, weird day today. It is weird today. It is a little slow. I would agree with that. My scanner is full of things here, but as far as setups go, kind of slow. And KZIA really disappointed out of the open here. and a lot of these names short squeeze. And so definitely I see the same thing that you're seeing, but we'll call anything if it changes.
Yeah, I'm just going to watch the SPY, really.
Yep.
As it keeps going in the trend, I'll leave it alone. The
Now,
moment it
VIX,
starts
remember we talked
cracking-
about the VIX, right? VIX smashed right back down to 2153. This attempted rally here, not sure that this is going to continue. I think that this might reverse here today. Might not reverse right here, might reverse a little bit higher, but I'm just not sure that this rally holds, honestly. Rosie, I got no positions on right now. I attempted KZIA, took an L on it, didn't work. I attempted, or I did trade VRM. This one was a bit of a grinder. I piked it though because VRM kept going. I got a little bit of this move here, but now it's really starting to roll. Other than those two, I don't have anything on right now. I'm still kind of waiting and to see what's going on. Here's Yell from yesterday. We talked about this morning, right out of the gate here. Yell doing great. Took out that high yesterday. Missed this one, unfortunately, but Yell looks like this wants to go, especially if this gets some more volume. Wow, staff spiking. We traded this yesterday. Staff halted.
Staff?
Yep, STAF.
PGY? Why? I'm just watching the SPY, guys, at this point.
Tom Carvana headed to 100. Tom, in this market with the squeeze, I mean, you might be right, my man. I wouldn't trust that, but you might be right.
I think I'm ending the day if Carvana gets to 100.
Do not doubt the Italian beef, folks. Do not doubt the Italian beef. If you have not had Portillo's, what are you doing?
I don't know what I'm doing.
And that we got to. You're right. You do got to get out to Chicago. That's ridiculous. Look at this move after earnings on Portillo's. Look at this move. Awesome stuff. Lynn and Randy somewhere are fist pumping. Yeah, Born. You can order them too. You can order them. In fact, that's one of the things that I like about the actual stock. Remember, I'm long Portillo's here. My average is in the 16s, so I'm doing pretty good here. The thing about this is that they're planning their expansion based on where their highest mail orders go. And so they know where it's popular and they're going where it's popular. Never closed a store, delicious burgers, sausages, Polish dogs, beef, awesome stuff. Portillo's coming to Dallas. They sell a ton to Texas, Exponey, a ton. That I believe is their biggest mail order market is Texas.
So let me get this straight. People order meat by mail?
Yes. They order the Okay, so Portillo's does what's called like a sandwich package where they send you the meat, the peppers, the buns, and then you heat it up at home and put it together. Mitch, you're sitting there like you don't know, but it's just ignorance, bro. As soon as you have this, you will understand.
That's all I gotta say. Holy shit. I didn't expect people to be buying meat in the mail, but guess I don't know.
Chicago Italian beef, bro. Chicago Italian beef, I'm telling you.
I don't know about that beef. Lots and SFT both on Carvana move. Oh man, the short squeezing around here.
Look at Kalu.
Stocks.
Look at Kalu. I love this, man. You're in here every day working towards it. Every day. And it looks like you had a 10K trade today, Kalu. Good stuff, man. That's how you do a Friday. Way to go.
We opened up out the hole and go up on Carvana. Oh man, I feel like shorting the hell out of this.
I agree, Tom. That's what I was saying earlier. I think this attempted rally does not last. You're looking at a reversal point here. Tom's a sharp guy, so keep that on your radar. Perhaps we do reverse here. Be careful.
I want to let it top one more time here at the high there. If it can top one more time there, I'll go shorting. Let it rip up there. Try to take out those highs. 48.49, 48.43s. Maybe it gets to 48.40s and then gets hit right back down. Why? 1 wave, 2 waves, 3 waves. Normally don't get that 4th wave. We'll see. USPS graded beef. Carvana, don't come down before that. Come on. Let me join you. Up 37%. Interesting market, let's just say that. Just watching this trend. Look at the trend that we've had in the SPY. Just watching the trend, waiting for that trend line to break. That's when I'll start saying that maybe we're turning around. Right now the trend is holding. Same thing you can do for Carvana. You can draw a trend and wait for the line to break if you wanted to wait for that. So that's the break of 45.
IONM, good spot, Manon. This one's a little crazy, so be careful if you're trading this one. We just went up, what, 415 on the high there. Pretty big yank here. IONM making a run here. Not in this, but this is curling here. We had highs over 10. This thing's wild, so be careful if you trade this. Good spot, though.
Yeah, I didn't know that one, Kalu. If I missed that one, well, you know, it's going to happen sometimes.
Kalu was all over it. That's the thing. We don't all need to be on it. As long as some of us find it, that's really what matters. Kalu, great stuff today.
It makes me happy when you guys make money. Believe it or not,
absolutely.
It does.
Thank you.
It does, guys. I'll tell you that right off the back. I'm never going to be one of those people that are like, oh man, you made a better trade than me? I don't like you.
Yeah, that's a toxic attitude. Run away.
Yeah, there's no point. Like, what I would ask there is, how did you make that trade? What was the strategy you were using? Maybe I need to learn something.
How can see, that's the thing. You always want to try to get better at this, right? How can you improve? And if someone's really hot, if someone has a really good system, you want to be able to learn that from them. You don't want to criticize them. You don't want to be jealous. You don't want to do any of that stuff. We're all here to help each other.
We have a good question here. You know, how do you know whether a stock is a short squeeze or a bullish move? Well, a lot of the times what I would ask myself is, what was the pre-market outlook, right? If the pre-market outlook was every stock kind of dropping fast, it could just be one of those DCB, dead cat bounce, right? But then when you see the stocks kind of continuing to hold the trend, and it's a very linear trend like you're getting here on Carvana, right? Very linear, very up, not coming back towards the VWAP. It did one little VWAP bounce, but it hasn't even come back since then. And that was at 944. So that's what I mean by when you're seeing the kind of the short squeeze mentality. Now, what would it mean by if it was a bullish move? Well, to me, for a bullish move, if they had positive catalyst in the pre-market and just ripped right out the gates, then I would be like, yeah, this is just kind of more of that bullish move off of the positive catalyst. But their earnings weren't the best. And the outlook is what? That they're cutting cost to try to get around a weak market environment. And they expect a weaker market environment for their business in the next, let's say, 6 to 12 months. So with that being said, that's what I would ask myself. And you're never going to know 100%. That's what I will also give you, GM.
Never.
Parabolic move also could be known as a short squeeze. Sometimes the parabolic moves are short squeeze. Sometimes they're not too. So you could see a parabolic move come from a good catalyst. Like a lot of times, like let's say if a small name gets mentioned with a really big name, like if you saw a really small chip supplier get mentioned with Apple Well, boom. Next thing you know, you get a parabolic move off of a positive catalyst, especially involved with a bigger stock. Well, in this matter, as you're looking at that iRobot, how did it trade after the gates there? It's just going sideways. It's actually coming down there. To me, I think this hopped up way too much off of that. And so I think the price was 56. So you're probably going to see the arbitrage try to trade it back down to 56. But that's just what I'm thinking. Sopa. Who's getting that soup today? Sopa. Nice little lift there. Nice little pattern. 5-minute pattern. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3. Hold support. 90 EMA. Boom, baby. Carvana is getting to that point where I'm starting to get a little interested.
Heed Tom's warning. It can run to 100. Scary short.
That's cool. Just know you're out.
Kalu, this is so great to hear. This is exactly why we do this. This is exactly why we have the show. This is the whole goal. I'm glad that things are working for you, my man. Glad that our community is helping you out. Great stuff.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, man. And if this is bringing you success, then just keep doing your thing. Another rejection from that 48. Just give it a little bit more time here. I want to see it really start cracking down. One of the biggest things if you're trying to short a high flyer, you don't get in front of the push. You, at least in my eyes, I wait for the takedown, then I join the party. If I get in front of the push, I'm just asking to get squeezed. But what do I mean by that? It's like the move that heads to the trend line. A big candle that changes the higher low trend. Right now you'll see on, let's say like a 5-minute or a 3, you'll see that higher low trend continuing.
Unity, huge power moves here. This one also really beaten down, perhaps squeezy. Over those highs though, nice little breakout on the daily chart here. This could keep going up too. This could keep squeezing for sure.
SPY starting to top there a little bit. Getting me excited about this Carvana opportunity.
Morning, Easy Mike. How you doing?
See how the SPY is topping out right there around the 113.93s. Interesting level to watch now.
BBBY being called out in the chat. That's been squeezy too. Let's see what that's doing. Yep. Nice move there. That actually would have been a great trade this morning. I'm sorry I didn't take that one. BBBY. Nice job.
All right, watching for the 3 pattern to fail here. So it already did the 3 up resistance. Now it comes to support here. Support is 46.50s. If that breaks, the guys are going to probably see me try to hammer Carvana.
Veru approaching highs.
Veru.
Yep.
Interesting.
Looking like it's trying to break out of this formation here.
Put it right in the middle here for you guys. There's that Carvana trying to get above that 48 one more time here. Let's see what happens. Like the video, appreciate it, George. Thanks for the reminder. I know I sometimes get lost in my trading, so just like you guys out there are probably getting lost in your trading, do me the favor, guys. Support us as we support you guys. Trading every single day live. You know, I'm sure we could probably even do a little bit better if we weren't live, so we would appreciate if you guys could do the favor and smash up those likes. Support us. We're going to keep going here and trying to make some money. And like always, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe and that bell so you get notified the moment that we go live.
Good call.
All right, so definitely, it was one of those squeezy types of days here, guys. Squeeze that orange juice and look, it just comes out like this. So we're going to see what happened with the squeeze. Does the squeeze get turned around? We're going to have to find out.
Tom, your rollover spot has been dead on so far. Great call on the SPY.
I'm on it.
Here. You literally called it in
I'm short.
the run up. Spot on.
I'm short, baby. 47.06. Little slippage there. Above 48s on that wick that we just got. So the wick is there. High is 48.34. We're going to do about, on the first shares, we've got to do about a point on that.
Saeed,
a little bit more
asking,
actually.
Ryan, BBIG has been halted since yesterday. Do you have any idea what's going on? Yes, we covered that at the open today. Let me put up my screen here. BBIG, Vinco Venture shares halted for information requested by the listing market. Not good. Trading will remain halted until they've satisfied NASDAQ's additional request. Not good stuff.
Yeah, let's just say a mess.
A mess.
A mess. Hot mess.
Huge shout out to Alyssa for getting the internet trolls all riled up and coming after me this weekend. I can't wait to not give a damn while I'm on the golf course.
You do that, Ryan. You don't give a damn. And you play some good golf, my friend.
I hope so. Had my best round last week. Hoping to break that this week. We'll see.
No, I could actually give you some workouts to probably get you to hit it harder. It's probably the similar workouts that I'm doing for baseball. So,
ooh, I've heard about that. They actually make these things that are like clubs. They don't have club heads. They have weights on the end that you're supposed to swing, and it's like a system where you're supposed to build up your swing. That actually sounds really interesting. Veru here back near highs after that pull.
I think it would be very similar to baseball in the part where you want to get your strength is on your trunk rotation. Because if you can improve that, that's going to help you be stable in your body, in your chest, when you're going to make contact with the ball.
It's all about that rotational torque.
Yeah, and if you can stay kind of balanced so that your accuracy to the ball doesn't fall off.
Tiny Pie saying, Alyssa, how could you do that to Ryan? Alyssa's my homie. Alyssa's my homie. That's no big deal. That's no big deal. I can take it. I'll get called whatever names they want to call me. It's fine. I'm not long. My money's not locked up. I don't give a damn.
All right, SPY starting to drop there, so we'll see if those squeezes start turning around. I took my shot on Carvana because it was one of the biggest gainers on the day. Whatever you want to be taking your shot on, like always, just choose your own, and we'll see if that risk assessment holds on here. For me, the SPY, if it comes back through that 413.84, that's where we could see the upside back. But if it doesn't, we might be able to see some leakage from here.
Tom, once again, I just want to shout out, great call this morning. And I want to thank you for all of the contribution that you give to our great show here. Like I said, Tom here, real sharp guy, calls out spots all of the time, never asks for anything in return. Tom, that's exactly what we want out of our community. Keep it up, my man.
All right, want to see Carvana just bust down through that 47 now. There it is. Let's join the party. Just hit a little bit more of an ad there at 47.02. Joining the party here on the short of Carvana. I know there's probably some bulls out there like, no, don't do it to me, Mitch.
Hey, Born, you're in Florida, right? So I'm assuming you golf year round. I'm probably going to be going through withdrawals when the winter in Chicago here starts. So let's keep in contact. Maybe I'll come down there for a weekend. We can hit a few rounds.
All right, there you go. We're looking like we want to break through that. You guys see the ads there. The big thing too, the SPY breaking with it. Veryu turning around a little bit. How's Apple now? topped way up there, and I'm glad that I got out and didn't fight that 165. There's Carvana. Let's go back to that VWAP. Around the 44s, I'll take some profit.
Citrus Springs. Now that just sounds awesome. That just sounds awesome.
Big support here at 46 for Carvana. Rejecting
Crafty,
it right
take
now.
care. Have a great weekend, man. Thanks for all your support. And Jesse, absolutely. That's exactly what we're trying to do. That is exactly what we're trying to do. Alyssa, if I come down to Florida, you bet I will come say hi to you and your
Alyssa,
dad.
I'm coming soon. You know I'm always down there.
Becca, I actually already have plans to go to Arizona. I was invited by another trader that spends time in our happy hour. He said he'd dust off the clubs and take me out on the golf course. So you can bet your bottom dollar I'm coming to AZ this winter. That's for sure.
All right, we're about to crack through that 45 level with good rejection off the 46 there for Carvana.
Bruce, Ryan, you can get small donut weights to put on the end of your clubs, just like the baseball bat, and swing it to help your core as well. I've heard about this, and that's what that weighted system that I was talking about. I actually just found out about this last week. I played around with one of my buddies who shoots low 70s, really good player, and he was saying he uses these all the time. So I'm going to look into that this winter for sure.
Yeah, look into those. The biggest thing that I would say it's probably the same thing that happens in baseball. When we add too much weight to the bat, what happens is the plane of the swing changes. So that's what you don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be repeated swing, a swing that you can do plenty of times. So you got to see that also. If you're using those weighted edge, does it change your swing? Because if it changes your swing, then that's not going to really benefit you. What I would say then is work more on your swing path, maybe one-handed swings with a smaller club, and making sure that your backhand's right, your top hand, your bottom hand's right. That's more important there, I think, than even strength. Really solid contact is always going to be better than strength. You know, you can muscle a ball all you want, and trust me, I've done this on the drive, and I'm sure Ryan's done it also. Muscling the ball doesn't really help in golf. You need to have those soft hands. You need to just make solid contact.
Nope. All right, you're in Phoenix. I'll buy you a drink. I will take you up on that. I believe that the area that I'm going to is around Scottsdale. Mr. Wheelie Man, I might be trying adaptive golf soon. I'm in a wheelchair and just found out there's a way I can golf. That makes me so happy. That is really awesome. Let me know how that is. That would be interesting. And I think more people that are wheelchair bound should check that out. That actually sounds really, really cool. Good stuff, my man. Way to keep pushing. Way to keep your chin up, too.
Always. Whew. It's Carvana trade. Making a man sweat over here. Mitch, you play baseball, you'd probably be a good golfer. No, the problem is that I'll hit it to left always. So, that's what happens. I can hit one up the middle. Bah! I look like a good golfer. I'll tell you right now, 50 swings after that. It will never look like that first swing. Problem is so the difference between a golf swing and a baseball swing is the bending of the arm. That front arm stays straight, right, Ryan? When you're kind of using the
golf,
driver.
Yeah. Definitely want to keep that lead arm straight. Absolutely.
And baseball, you actually want to be at a 45 degree. And you want to point the bat knob to the catcher, which is going to help you with that degree. And so it's a way different degree of that front arm. And that's what happens to baseball players when they go play golf. They want to bend that front arm versus keeping it straight through. Hendricks, joining the party, bro. Look, Hendricks is coming in, man. He's making an appearance. And he said, I'm going to turn around and find the next spot to sleep in. Falling asleep on this market, Hendricks? Can't blame you, dude. Is Meta up today? Let's take a look. Meta. Yeah, it's up today. Doesn't look too bad. It did tick up there by some resistance. Meta's definitely not a favorite of mine the next 6 months or something like that. I think this company is going to take probably about a year to figure their thing out, but we'll see. To each his own, right? Hendrix just likes to sleep, guys. I'll show you him. He's right now on my
Give me the
screen.
Hendrix can, baby. Give me the Hendrix can.
Yeah, I might actually just do an actual Hendrix cam, right? Why not? We're having some fun.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I wonder this too. Mitch, what's your all-time favorite baseball player?
That's such a hard question.
I know. That's why it's so good. That's why it's such a good question.
Such a hard question. I mean, I would have to, what I would do there is I would say what is like my favorite hitter, what is my favorite fielder, because there's different sides. And I really try to appreciate the different sides of baseball, like what's my favorite pitcher. But if it was all-time favorite baseball player, that's a hard one, man. I mean, of course I can go to like back in the days, but I'm going to probably do one that I actually have met. And so I'm going to go out and say Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera, because I've actually gotten a chance to meet him plenty of times. I have plenty of balls that he's given me also. So Miguel Cabrera would
folks in
be.
Detroit are loving that answer, Mitch. Hell yeah.
Future Hall of Famer too, so.
Yeah, absolutely. 3,000 hit club without a doubt, my man.
I remember when I got, if you guys know what the World Baseball Classic is, I actually got to hold the flag during the opening game in, I think it was in 2009, that baseball classic. I got to hold the flag and got to meet the whole Venezuelan baseball team. So that was just out of this world. Tony Gwynn, oh, monster.
Tony Gwynn was one of the best hitters of all time. So in his 20-year career, Tony Gwynn struck out 434 times. That is an average of last season 129 players had struck out 22 times by the end of April. So on average, he struck out 21.7 times per year. Last season, 129 players had struck out 22 times at the end of the first month.
Yeah, let's just say it's not the same.
Insane, dude. That is insane.
It's not the same league.
So good.
It's not the same league anymore. That's for sure.
No, Jess, you didn't miss the whole show. We out here. We out here.
That's what it's all about. I'm shorting Carvana. Let's go.
Petting Hendrix. You get your petting Hendrix. Let's go.
That's just what's working well. I'm just like, yeah, let's just
That's
keep
what's
petting.
working well.
Let's just keep petting Hendrix. The stock goes
Love
down
it.
when I pet Hendrix. I like that game. I can
Love
pet
it.
Hendrix. Look, so you guys can see how Hendrix just hangs out with me. Look at him. Look at that face.
That is a sweet kitty right there.
What
Where's
up,
Shelly?
Hendrix?
She's got to be going crazy right now.
He just hangs out. He's that type of cat. Especially when I trade, it's kind of funny. It's only when I trade that he likes to hang out. He doesn't hang out later in the day. He doesn't like the pre-market prep guys. He likes Ryan. He knows Buddy's going to join it.
Cats know, baby. Cats know.
All right, guys. In a second here, I'm going to put out an order to cover at 44.25s, half of the order of the Carvana here. We're down to 444.75, so I'm putting it down a little bit. I wanted to just run through my number, fill me, and then I'm going to hold the rest of it to see if we can, really get this to come on down.
Shelly, playing Minesweeper eases your anger? That normally raises my blood pressure. Pablo asking, Ryan, what's going on with Net today? 25% up. Net, that's of course Cloudflare, reported earnings yesterday. Trading higher if the company reported better than expected Q2 sales and raised fiscal year 22 sales guidance. Multiple analysts also raised their price target on the stock. Benzinga Pro can tell you that in a matter of seconds.
That I can. Ooh, Lou Garrett. One of the best speeches ever. Come on, Carvana. No, but baseball's all, it's crazy with baseball and me. it's kind of one of those loves that I even tried to forget a little bit, because there was a time where, you know, like when you stop being a player, it's kind of hard to kind of see that you didn't make it to the majors. And that's normal. I mean, let's just be honest. It's not many people that make it to the majors. And I was one of those that thought I was going to. So for a while I stopped playing, but I'm going back to it. I'm actually going to be joining a league here in Charlotte and trying to have some fun.
Good for you, Mitch. That's really awesome. I was never good enough at sports when I was younger. Veru popping through the highs here, by the way. Veru right through here. Took a little bit to a 1273 here for a day trade. I was never good enough at any of the sports I played to actually think that I was going to make the pros, but I understand exactly where you're coming from. And I played hockey with some kids that were so good. I mean, they were so good. So I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you'll even see. I mean, I met a couple of players in my time that I was like, man, this guy has to make it. No, he didn't make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I saw some guys that just were monsters, absolute freaks of athletic monsters, like, you know, 6'5", 200 pounds, and still able to run just as fast as me. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you?
What did you eat when you were a kid?
Yeah, dude. If you weigh 180 pounds and you could run a 4.5, what the hell?
Yeah.
Let alone, you know, the speed that you see nowadays. Athletes are
scalp Veru here, by the way. Out Veru on this little pop. We'll see
for
if it's
you,
up again.
baby.
Here it goes. Oh, not yet.
That's a Jessica favorite.
That is. It's Veru good. And that was actually great. The calls that I played on Veru, that was a great trade. So nice little scalp here on the equity as well.
Carvana trying to hold on to that 50 moving average there. We'll see what happens there. It's trying to come back there. SPY still trickling down. Meta trickling down. I'm up over a point, you know. I could take just this, but you know, it's not fun. We're looking for that move down to VWAP.
Oh, there we go. Right on cue, Mitch. Right on cue. Jess already has a trade plan ready to go. Love it. Let's go, Jess.
What's up with the Donkey Kong? Topping out there at the 1946. What a move this week. What a move there.
Veru going for those highs. Let's see if it takes out 1287 here.
Pete Rose, he's my DKNG fan. He's my favorite gambler.
Too soon, Mitch. Oh. Whoa,
he's my favorite gambler of all time.
Mitch just out here taking gut shots on people.
I actually met Pete Rose in Vegas while he was trying to make his money doing those little autographs.
Yeah, Lynn, we'll have to check out Portillo's when we're down in Scottsdale. Absolutely. Oh, there goes Veru. Popped
It's
right
crazy
through.
how Pete Rose.
Veru going for 13 here. We were on this on that 73 break. Bang.
What happened to Triple BY? Any news? I would just say it's probably ripping off a short squeeze. I don't think this is, dude. If anything, remember we were questioning would Bed Bath & Beyond business survive? So I don't think this is, you know, anything other than short squeezing that you're seeing around. And when you think about it, I mean, this stock gapped down huge through this, was consolidating and just ripped through that level, even ripped through this consolidation. So yeah, to me, this is just short squeezing all around. AMC also.
Lord Byron, important to, I just want to clarify just to make sure that I was clear the first time we talked about it. Portillo's is in fact a long-term trade. I'm glad you added it to your long-term account. The thesis here is that there's a 600 store expansion over the next 10 years. And I know this as being really good food, being from Chicago. So that's one of the reasons I'm playing. My entry looks really good right here, but also need to consider the fact that you're obviously buying a restaurant here that is exposed to the consumer. It's reliant on the consumer. If any of these inflationary pressures continue or anything like that, the consumer is likely to be affected. I do think Portillo's is one of the best in breed as it is. So perhaps that will actually end up helping you. That's my thesis anyway. But remember, this is not a short-term trade. So although I'm up 10 points on it about right now, I'm not looking to close this out. I'd love to see 60s, maybe even 100 in the future. So we'll see. Looking through the scanner here, seeing if there's anything. Ooh, MOBQ. Is this curling? Maybe through 2 here on MOBQ. APDN highs. This is one of the monkeypox plays that we talked about at the outset here. Of course, Veru. Veru good. Love this stock. How are the other ones? Where's Saiga? That was at highs earlier. Okay, that's still holding up here. How about GOVX? Ooh, GOVX lower. Okay, so this is the weakest of them. But for the most part, they're still in play here. There's Mitch's Donkey Kong. Peloton, is this still squeezing? Yep, sure is. Where's Carvana at? Here's CMRX. There's the other monkeypox play. Okay, here's Carvana. Carvana's still holding up there. All right. Shelly, I did not get an Oculus. You need a Facebook account to get an Oculus. That's a non-starter for me. I will never do that. Where's Buddy? I don't know. Buddy is probably causing trouble. I'm actually going to run to the washroom and make sure he's not tearing my house apart. I'll be right back.
Where is Buddy? He's out there destroying things. He's trying to get those birds out there. Can't blame him. We'll see what's going on out there. We'll search for Chicago meats. The Chicago meats trade, bro. You guys don't know that one? Got to get it going there. Twilio is so much down if earnings were really good. Pablo, this market doesn't make logic sense. If you're trying to make logic to these earnings, trying to make logics to these moves, it's going to be tough. You can scratch your head a lot. I can tell you because, there's certain trading books and finance books that I have in a box for a reason. They deserve to stay in that box because logic a lot of the times is tough to add to this market. I got nothing wrong with Pete Rose. I think he's a monster, but he did get caught. Let's just be honest. He was definitely one of the best baseball players ever, but it's just hard after what he did. What's going on, guys? How we doing? SOBR, hourly.
Here, let me bring that up for you, Mitch.
Yeah, let me see here. Doesn't look too bad. Coming back towards hourly support. Stocks love to do this thing, man. I don't know why. I think it's just to wash out some retail traders. It'll be an interesting one to watch. Does have some good levels off the 125. Can it get back up there? Be fun to watch now.
Shelly, I'm not going to let him destroy my house. He was actually being a really good boy. He was laying down the other room.
Let him.
Shelly wants cats to rule the world. That's what I've gathered from this show. Shelly wants cats for president and cats to make all of the rules. Checking out the Twitter streets. He's too cute. Let him. Oh, that's funny. I don't know what that is, Alyssa. Play stray. Not sure what that is. I'm essentially my cat's butler. Me too, Keith. That's relatable AF.
I would agree
That's
with that.
so good. That's so good.
If you own a cat, that's what you are. You don't notice it, but you don't own the cat. The cat owns you.
That's right. Cats run the show, man. That's funny stuff. That is funny stuff.
What up, Hendrix? You should hear him when he gets his treats. Oh my God, I should almost do that on camera one day.
That would be cool.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna put him as far in the house as possible. I'm just gonna bring the treat sneaking here, and I'm just gonna shake it. We're gonna do a countdown to see how long it takes for him to get here.
Okay.
I promise you, it won't take more than 5 seconds, man.
Okay,
That boy,
I like it.
he has these ears for his
Oh.
treats. He don't miss them. All right, let's take a look at the SPY. SPY still leaking since that break of the trend line. So it's just a slow leak down. We'll see if it's just continuing
what you're
that.
saying is SPY's leaking since Tom called the rollover to the penny, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. That's what happened.
Pretty much. We'll see what happens in this one. How's some different stocks like Apple doing? It came back down to VWAP there. Let's take a look at maybe like Tesla. Tesla continuing to leak. Interesting there to see Tesla leaking there. Now down to 900. Remember yesterday I was looking for that 900? Just took a while longer. And sometimes you just got to be willing to go around it. But the whole meeting yesterday scared the crap out of me to hold it overnight. Yeah, my dogs love my cat too. Don't worry. You'd be surprised. Dogs and cats can definitely get along.
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, most of the time, the cats run the show. The dogs just acquiesce to it.
Yeah, literally. Planning on a trip to Charlotte from Nashville soon? Look me up.
Mitch, definitely meet up with Lynn and Randy. They are great people. Great people.
Sounds great to me. I ain't got no problem. There's a lot of breweries here in Charlotte.
Yes,
I went to a recent one. Maybe meet up there.
Jesse, we have 6 cats, the best alarm clocks we have.
Dude,
Yeah,
they
you
know
got it,
exactly when you wake up.
You got it.
My cat won't let me go over my alarm by literally a minute.
Nope.
He knows. He knows.
He knows it's food time. Come on.
Wake on up.
Wake up.
Get on up. All right, here's Carvana trying to come back and squeeze me out. We'll see what happens.
5 more minutes left, and I'm going to have to jet.
Yeah, we're actually going to be out of here at 11.
Okay.
We're wrapping up. We'll get you guys on over to All Access / Benzinga Live. Let me actually make sure that's set up for us. I'll be right back. I'll leave my charts up.
All right. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize Mitch left. I wouldn't have been texting if that happened. Sorry about that, folks. Let me throw up my screen here. Carvana moving back up towards the highs here. MOBQ curling. Where's KZI at? Man, what a dud this was. I thought for sure we get a run out of this one. We really didn't. We just got this little bounce here. Really nothing much to speak of. Sorry, folks. That one did not work.
It happens.
It happens.
All right. Lovely that I checked that. Set the redirect. If not, we would have missed it. That would have been really bad. Kind of check on things.
Nope, absolutely. Measure twice, cut once, Mitch.
Yep, only way. All right, there's another rejection for Carvana. Let's see if we start really breaking down the SPY wick down there. Try to get through that 112.50. Let's see if it gets through it now and keeps on the leak. Hit the like button, guys, definitely. Yeah, and my cat likes to fight dogs, so Dylan, watch out. Hendrix come get you. But no lie, Hendrix fights dogs all day. That boy lines up. He ain't scared. Carvana! Let's go! It's like Nikola. You know when Nikola is up, you know the trash is moving.
The dash for trash is on.
Workhorse? You know the dash for trash. ARC trying to get through that 50. There's a huge resistance that he cannot break through, and that's that 50, 51. So that's what I'd be watching. Look how it used it as resistance here. It popped above it, came back, and now it's just using it as resistance, trying to reject off of it. It's a big level for it on ARC.
All right, so that MEGL is open. I can't. Oh, there we go. Is it halted already? Yeah, it's halted. Wow. What is the? Do we have? This was oh my God! This was priced at 4 and opened at 50.
What the hell?
I mean, this is just it. Please promise me that if you play this, you'll be careful. I don't advise that you do, but if you do, please be careful. Please be careful.
Hendricks hates his lickings. He likes doing the licking. He doesn't like to get licked. What's fun was watching Hendricks in the snow. He was so confused.
So I let Buddy out onto my patio when it snows, and he walks out there and he gets snow on his little feet, and he picks him up and looks at him and he shakes it off.
Yeah, same thing. Hendricks is like, I like this. But then he feels the wetness and he's like, oh no, I don't like this.
You know what's crazy is that Buddy actually doesn't mind water. I spray him when he's bad, like with a spray bottle, and he doesn't
he's
care.
like, what?
He watches water drip. He goes into the bathtub. It's hilarious.
Our cup and handle.
All right, Mitch, I'm going to jet. I got to get to my next meeting. I hope you all have a great weekend. If you go to the golf course, be sure to go low. We'll be back here next week. See you on Monday, everyone. Take care.
All right. See you, Ryan. Have a great one. Have a good golf weekend and enjoy that. I'll be trying to do the same and enjoying the weekend. I'm going to stay here with you guys. We only got about 10 minutes till we get to Benzinga Live. I'm going to take a second here to do some sector analysis. Keep watch of what happens on Carvana. And anything above that 47.67 is just going to get me out. Not going to let myself get squeezed. Of course, this has been fighting. It got down below the 440, the 45s. We were up about 2 points. So I'll give myself like 60 cents on that since I was up 2 points. But we'll see what happens here. It's a very small size, so I'm not really worried about it. It was kind of more to take the trade. We'll see what happens there. Let's see what sectors are moving, what isn't moving, and then we'll get you guys on over to All Access / Benzinga Live. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look at energy. Energy, what a monster rip today in the oil game, getting some stocks to really push on up. Look at this AMTX from about 850 towards 1030 today, 20% move there. CLMT, nice move up there. CLNE, this one loves to move. Clean Energy Fuel Corp, this is a former parabolic mover. Look at this getting some lift. One that I would keep on watch the next couple of days. Tallow is an interesting move too. Look at this coming on back here. Nice candle getting off the 17 today, trying to get through the 19. Tallow, interesting there. Talos Energy, keep these on watch. Let's look at some high cap names. XOM having a really good day there, pushing on up there towards 89, finding some bounce. Chevron, a nice move there. Conoco Phillips up about 3%. PBR, I know someone mentioned this yesterday, not a bad day there for that one. And of course, Oxy, we heard it really early in the morning. Warren Buffett loves to buy around the 57 level. Well, look where it bounced today. It went right below it and then really held that 57, pushed back up there towards the 59.50. Not a bad move there. Basic materials, the second leading sector. Aluminum, copper, and industrial metals leading there. Aluminum, of course, watch AA. But another one you guys can watch in aluminum is CENX. Cheaper play there if you want to take a look at that. Copper, I'd always say FCX is the major one that I watch. Look at that lift. Nice little push on up on the hourly. Now it could probably pull back from that 30.50. We'll see what happens there. Coal having a decent day, nothing really standing out there. BTU about 4.6, but does have some resistance that is playing into in the 20 handle. Of course, gold and silver turning off because the dollar kind of getting some strength back. That's what hit there on silver and gold. If we take a look at what's down today, utilities falling off the tape. And this is what I always see on utilities. A lot of times they start getting on up and then they start pulling on back. They start getting on up, pulling on back, start getting on up, pulling on back. So they're very volatile in their ranges. But the biggest thing is definitely turning around from the 90 on Nextera Energy. And Duke was already weak yesterday. So I continued probably seeing the weakness. There you guys see it. It loves to pull back after a nice little push. There goes Carvana. Yeah, I saw it, Patrick. I kind of wanted to ignore it so I could keep coming, but we'll see what happens. It's how it is sometimes. All right, we got about 7 minutes left here. Going to keep it going. Not a worry at all. I'll get us going until 11:10 here. If you guys got a stock, call it in the chat. I got you guys. Watch it, yes, here. I don't really watch the futures too much, B trading, but if you do watch it, it's very similar to the SPY. That's just what I watch. All right, let's continue going. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that I thought would, I thought Tesla's stock split was actually going to get it to move on up, and it's just leaking out here. That's probably going to start dragging the market with it. SPY now down towards that 412.50. Got close towards that 412.50, broke below it, and then recovered there. So we'll see if it can come on down and break that. All right, let me try to change the tunes here before we get on out of here. Maybe put a little bit of some fun music here. Let's go, guys. What's up out there? Let's do the weight of sound, my favorite song. No, not the weight of loss, the weight of sound. All right, let's go ahead. Let me play it up here for us. All right, we'll see if this can continue breaking down. Of course, the SPY went all the way up there, finally broke that trend line and just started leaking from there. It's important to watch to see if it can get all the way back towards, let's say, 410 by the end of the day. I think we can even get to maybe 408. I don't see anything under that. If you take a look at the daily, this is going to put us back into the range. That's what I'm looking for. So below this high here, 413.03, I wouldn't want to see it close above that, at least if I'm a bear and I think it's going to get into the range, right? If I'm a bull, I'd probably want to see a close above that level here, which is the 413.03 level. If we could close above that, that's actually looking good for the bulls. Natural gas, I'll take a look at some of those. I got no problem. You guys keep calling out some tickers. I'll definitely run through them. UNG is one that I always watch for in natural gas. I'll take a look at the one you're mentioning, Sabrina, right now. So this is the one that I'm watching to take that next leg up through 30. I think it's really finding some hourly support around this 27.25. I like this look. I'm looking for a push through 29, getting up there towards 31. Let's go check out yours, which is OVV. OVV trying to get some lift here. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily has some support down here around the 45 level. So definitely we want to see it hold 45 no matter what. Now let's start seeing a little bit closer timing, right? So you can see the hourly, a lot of resistance in the 50s, and it rejected. It tried to get back above here, started pushing out to 51. Very next day, it's right back down below. So that's going to be the level on the upside. You could see some resistance around the 49 level as you ran into some resistance here. If you can get above that 49, I think 50 or 51 starts getting into play. All right, what else is moving on out there? Let's go. Boyle, of course, you guys can watch. This is the upside move there. And of course, cold, which is the downside move there. Boyle, what would I look for? I like this bottoming around 80 and slightly below it around maybe 78, 75. And so that's kind of the level, 78, so yeah, 78, 75 is the level that I'd give there. Making sure that that's holding there and it starts making its way back. Where could you run into some resistance? I think around 88 and 90s, but then we're looking for it to get back on all the way up there towards the 103s, and the high there is 106.92. Swinging WBD, ooh, it'd be a risky one, but hey, to each his own. I've played this one before when we were in this consolidation up there, and it's just not looking well. At least I think streaming is a hard play towards the upside right now. Are these stocks really getting crushed? Yes, but the question is from here, what's the move forward? If you actually looked at their earnings today, what would you have seen? Well, if you look at their earnings, you'll see that they had how many subscribers? They had 92.1 million subscribers, right? Direct to consumer subscriber base. But if you take a look at even Fubo has 347,000 subscribers compared towards that 92.1 million of Warner Brother. So what you want to watch is, does that 92.1 start to rise? I think that if you watch this in the next 2 quarters, it's going to give you more of an insight on the long term of WBD than I think taking the shot here. But it's always about what you think. And if you think this has just come down far enough here, what you want to see is some resistance coming into play, acting as support, right? And so maybe you're thinking, okay, 1450s around here, we're going to find some support. That's where I want to risk for a move back up there. There isn't a bad outlook, but the only thing is you don't have a lot of combination of variables. You're just trying to call a bottom. Nothing wrong with that, but to each his own. Not the trade that I'd be taking. All right, we're almost there towards 11:10. We're going to be bringing you guys on over to All Access. And of course, Benzinga Live will be taking over after the All Access. AB will be there. Michael Murray. We'll see what happens here, guys. We'll see some stories coming on next. If you guys made a great trade today, let me know. What was the ticker? What did you guys do? Long, short? Tell me what's up. AMD at the VWAP. Interesting to watch. It is trying to recover there. It just bounced a little bit. We'll see what happens here. See Carvana coming right back down to the 45 and not wanting to break there is an interesting there for the bulls. It keeps rejecting the 45 break. So let's see what happens here. Do we break through the 45 or do we come right back up to 47? That would be a bullish look on this move. All right, what else is being mentioned out there? GovX. All right, yeah, definitely. If you guys can do me the favor, definitely hit the like button. That supports us as we support you guys doing this every single day. And I hope that you guys appreciate all the effort I try to do by trying to catch stories and movements and trends out there. Hit the like, guys. A lot of topping out action over here around the 4s. I'd look for some pullback closer towards this kind of 317 area. You can see how you came up once, came down, up 2, came down, up 3, came down. I wouldn't want to see it break this 314. I think if you break that 314, you're probably going to get down into the 3s and the 260s. So we'll look to see if the 315s hold and it makes a move back towards 4. All right, see some other ones being mentioned in the chat. Zillow, interesting one here. Let's take a look there. Zillow Group did report earnings, and this is just the type of market we're in. Bad earnings, the stock going up. So this is a good sign, though, at least in the long run. This is showing us that the bear market is slowly coming to an end. The question is, when will it really end? And that's what we're watching. Zillow Group 38 resistance, big resistance. From the downside, I draw a trend line here. Anything below 34s going into here to the 32s and 33s, probably break down. All right, I hope that you guys have a great weekend. I'm gonna get on out of here. Like always, smash it on up. Let's get on up here and we'll see what happens in Carvana. Now down there to 45, 42s. I told you guys 444.25 will be my first profit, and then I'll look for it to continue down towards the VWAP and maybe above that. But definitely hit the like, guys. I'm gonna get on out of here. Like always, guys, up next, you guys got All Access. Do me the favor, guys, support us. We're gonna keep pushing here on Benzinga. I'll be back at 1 p.m. with stock market movers and of course 2 expert opinions to take a look at the intraday action. We'll see you guys on over. Hit the like and keep on going, guys. Keep working on those skills. It's never one way to trade, and you're always going to have to work to add some tools to the tool belt.